Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of The Lions of Leningrad, written by and art by. This is a paperback version, 96 pages. It was originally in 2 volumes. It's now in a single completed collection, and it's from Dead Reckoning, deadreckoning.org. There's also an ebook version available. Now this one is a review copy which they kindly sent me, and I must admit I love all of Dead Reckoning's books. They've been excellent, so I'm really pleased to read this one. And well, actually I completely enjoyed it. I didn't know anything about the Lions of Leningrad or the Siege of Leningrad. One of those things I must go and get a book about and read a little bit more. However, this book does bounce backwards and forwards a few times, not particularly in a confusing way, which is good. Sometimes when stories bounce back and forth, it's very clear what period it actually indicates. 1962 and 1941, and the Germans are invading, as it says, invasion of Soviet Russia. And you've got 4 characters, and we follow the story and their loves, their relationships, and their families. There's lots of scenes where suddenly the family is being sort of, oh dear, we've upset someone and you're being arrested for what reason? You're off to a gulag, whatever, for the next 20, 50 or whatever years. And also the other characters as well. There's lots of issues there. And they're always referencing about Stalin has banned sweets, Stalin has banned this, Stalin has banned this. And there's actually one reference that was quite odd in this book, and I probably won't find it, but it turns around about American comic books. So I was thinking, oh dear, that would be me. I'd be straight off to the gulag. Tarzan of the Apes. Not exactly, well, I suppose it is obviously Edgar Rice Burroughs. However, it starts with the family and their relationships, the characters, and obviously their loves and everything, and got them out and they just jump in to avoid a train that's rushing through. Probably not the best of things to be on a train line like that. However, the train is relevant later because what happens is attacked by a German plane, and the characters are suddenly in this field on their own, and they're surrounded by Germans, and there's a lot. They quickly learn how to grow up. There's certainly a lot of dead bodies in this because, of course, they're going through the countryside, they're finding various bits. And also, not only that, they come across lots of Germans as well. And, of course, I don't want to show what happens because it would spoil the story. But, however, they're whizzing along in the car and they're showing, obviously, the communist flag because, of course, no one knows who they are. They're in a German and it's, you could end up getting attacked, blown up because of that. So they end up meeting, obviously, their own troops and find out that people are not particularly interested in their exploits, all the various things they've done there, but they're called the Lions of Leningrad, and they call that a vacation. The book doesn't shy away from showing the city being attacked. You've got the city there, the food supplies for the city completely destroyed, and you also got examples of the buildings being destroyed by the Germans. No one is safe in Leningrad. Unfortunately, false allegation, well, it's never actually explained. No one knows. The door is smashed in and you've got this, communist official suddenly turn around and say, you've been arrested, etc., for violating Article 58, whatever that is. However, what happens? It starts the ball rolling for the entire story. One of the characters jumps out the window and is off. I love this bit where she goes, come and see for yourself, and she throws the photo of the child into the fire. Terrible thing to do. However, gets back to the other characters and explains the situation. The colouring is superb. One thing that always is a key thing for me, colouring in books. And I mean, I love black and white, actually, it's weird. But at the same time, if you've got a book that's in colour, it is nice when, obviously, attention has been put to the colour. And you can see with the blues, the reds, everything. It's just, I mean, look at that. Just absolutely great. I love that. Also, a lot of white has been used here, so maybe not white, maybe whites and sort of very light greens, just to feel that sort of freezing cold. A lot of snow in the story. It's so cold. Imagine, it must have been awful. Absolutely. I mean, there's some, I can't show that, but look at this. You got the ship there. And it's, I mean, you think to yourself, how on earth did anyone move ships or anything? Anyone go anywhere? It must be, I don't know what it was, must be minus 30 or something like that. And though I must admit, I found this bit a bit confusing. Now, the character, I'm not going to explain who the character is because that's part of the story a bit earlier on. But you've got a character sort of going, suddenly just very dark, and she's led off into an alleyway. Obviously, clearly, these characters are I'm really certain what that was about. God have mercy on us. Well, not particularly explain what that was to do anyway, but however. But again, look at that, the snow and things. It really does capture that really, when you look at that. Oh, not certain how people could put up with that for long. And you've got all the characters in rooms, sort of it looking really chilly. And even there, look at that. Again, absolutely awful. This book is about friendships. That's the key thing I think that comes from it. However, not all the friendships in this book last, in particular the best of ways. Also, I love the way the use of the panels. Really, with all the various going down into the very dingy parts of Leningrad. And some very dingy characters. Also, I love this bit where he shows like the passport. You've got the passport. This could be anyone. And of course, the story moves on to the end, which of course goes back to the start. And that's where it starts. The whole thing with her being a violinist and that character just about to shoot her. I really love this book. Really, really good read. Absolutely beautifully drawn. Beautiful colouring all the way through. There was not excessive amount of violence. There were some probably unsettling scenes in it. So if you're, worried about that sort of thing, you might look at it and go, oh dear. But still, I didn't find it too bad. The language in it, excellent, thoroughly enjoyable story, very easy to read, flows perfectly. The characters are great. I really, really loved all the characters. I love the scenes where she's playing with their Father Frost and the Snow Queen. I think that was what they said. Anyway, obviously Snow Maiden, knew it, something like that. Snow Maiden, that's quite lovely. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very, very recommended read. It's 96 pages from deadreckoning.org. Really worth checking out their website and this book.